Hey Vibe Tribe, welcome to the channel and welcome back to a new Healing Her video. So y'all saw the title, y'all saw the thumbnail, y'all know we about to dig into the whole Cardi pregnant situation. I wanted to talk about this because it's hit home for me a little bit and I wanted to unpack it with more of a healing perspective. This isn't about tearing Cardi down. It's about pulling lessons for ourselves as women who's also loved too hard, rushed relationships, and ignored red flags. Celebrities live their lives out loud, but the patterns, they're not so different from ours behind closed doors. We've all been in situations where we wanted to prove something to an ex, an old situationship, a baby daddy. We've all been in situations where we wanted to prove something to the ex or confuse potential with reality. Instead of judging Cardi, because y'all, I love Cardi. I do. I'm not gonna hold you. I was a little disappointed in Cardi for giving Nicki any type of attention to allow her to steal her moment. Her album did amazing. Her album is amazing. I hated that she even responded to her and gave her a moment. I actually paused doing my Hill Girls Guide to Ratchet Vibes, which I was doing Cardi's album. Go ahead to my TikTok, the Vibe Collection. You can see those. I stopped doing it because I'm a little frustrated with Cardi for even entertaining her. Nicki does this all the time where she wants to steal these moments from people. Anytime another woman is successful, here she comes. I really wish she would not have gave her the energy. Based on the current situations that's happening in Cardi's life, it is very clear that Cardi has some healing to do. And I created this channel to hold space for women who need to heal. Let's talk about it. I wanted to use this situation with Cardi as a mirror for us to learn from. We're talking about healing, toxic cycles, the choices we make when we do not give ourselves time to rest. Let's get into it, girl.
I keep trying for you. I gave you all the love I got. I gave you more than I
Cardi hopped into this man real fast. And that's something that a lot of us can relate to. After a breakup, especially a painful one, it's tempting to jump into something new for comfort. When you do not take the time to heal, your nervous system is still dysregulated. You crave intensity, chaos, and familiarity over peace. That's why a man who simply feels calmer than your last one can trick you into believing that he's Prince Charming. In reality, you're just repeating the same cycle with a different face. If you don't pause to reset, you end up choosing from wounds instead of wisdom. That's why slowing down and giving yourself space after a breakup is so important. Also, I titled this video Patterns and Potential for a reason. However, there is a difference between patterns and potential. I still don't want you to choose potential. I want you to allow a man to show up for you the way that you deserve. Not because he has the potential to do so, because we've already talked about how a man will breadcrumb you and do the most for the next girl. Guess who was eating up the breadcrumbs and who wasn't? Let's get into the difference between patterns and potential, even though we're saying no to both. One of the biggest lessons we can take from this is a difference between patterns and potential. Patterns are rooted in facts, what a person consistently shows over time. Whereas potential, on the other hand, is rooted in feelings, what you hope someone could be if they changed. The problem is, potential can cloud your judgment, especially when you've been used to toxic love. In addition, y'all know y'all girls celibate and I promote celibacy. Shall I say abstinence? I don't promote waiting until you're married to find out this guy cannot please you. To each his own. I'm not telling you don't, because that's not my business. I do promote abstinence or a form of celibacy where you just take a moment to reset yourself. The problem is, potential can cloud your judgment, even sex, especially when you've been used to toxic love. Suddenly, bare minimum effort looks like an upgrade. Often, women chase potential because they want to prove their ex wrong. Especially women who have come from a previously emotionally or mentally abusive relationship. They're going to make you feel like nothing. You're going to naturally want to prove them wrong. I need y'all to not do that. I need y'all to start learning how to not give a fuck. It's that thought of, see, I was lovable. You're the problem. See, it wasn't me. The danger is chasing validation and a rebound can lock you into the same pain all over again. A lot of people feel like the best revenge after a heartbreak is to get a new man quickly. Let me tell you, that's not the real glow up. I personally love to glow up after a breakup and eat his words, not because I have a man on my arm. True get back is healing so deeply that your ex doesn't even recognize you. So deeply that he knows before he even thinks to send that text, he doesn't have a chance. The glow up comes from when your peace, confidence, and energy are undeniable. So much so that people can't help but to notice. It's when you start attracting better because you became better. It's when your ex might look back and regret that shit heavily. By then you won't even care because you've outgrown the whole situation. That's what true power looks like. The real revenge isn't in replacing him. It's in replacing the old version of yourself with the healed one. Now let's keep it real. The D must have been good. The way this man making babies, the D must be good. Because a lot of times that's why women hold on to men who aren't deserving of them. Sexual chemistry is powerful. It can absolutely cloud your judgment. Which is again why your girl has been abstinent for almost 6 years. Because I need to know that I'm not going to regret this move. Does he have to be my husband? No. But you have to be deemed safe. You're not just here to get up in between my legs. Good sex makes you overlook massive red flags, justify bad behavior, and stay longer than you should. Here's the truth. Good sex has never healed a broken heart, nor kept a man who didn't want to stay. Anything, it ties you closer through a trauma bond and keeps you stuck. That's why you cannot confuse physical chemistry with true compatibility. They're not the same. I learned not to get attached to people's choices, even as a domestic violence advocate / healing coach, because I do help women heal. I don't get tied to their choices because I already know the stats say it takes a woman 7 times to leave for good. I've been that woman. I don't need someone deciding to stay an extra time too long to throw me off my journey or to throw me off of my purpose of helping other women. I want better for other women. Until they want better for themselves, it's only so much I can do. Instead of judging, I remind myself to give grace because I haven't always had strong boundaries either. I've been that girl that stayed too long, ignored red flags, couldn't walk away easy. Cardi will keep experiencing what she needs to experience until she's ready to make that difference. That's her journey, not mine. I'm telling you this, and I wanted to do this video, and I told you guys at the beginning of the video, it hit home for me. It's because I'm now I'll be turning 44 this year. Y'all, turning 44 this year. I found myself at the big age of 39, pregnant by potentials and pattern myself, which is I say we shouldn't choose neither. Did he have the potential to be a decent man? Yes. Did his pattern show that he wouldn't? Yes. I've been there. I'm never in a place to not give a woman grace. It took me till the age of 40. Stop playing myself small and to stop letting these men play with me too. The big age of 40 with a baby girl that I refused to go through all of this and not be able to teach her. So it was important for me at that moment. Like, girl, you don't have any more time to play. At this moment, you got to get your shit together. Because this little girl is going to watch you and mimic you. So everything you want her to be, you have to become yourself. And that's when I start taking my journey much more seriously. So let's talk about the fact that now there is a baby involved. The situation is now even more serious for Cardi. Children might not understand everything, but they absolutely feel the energy at home. Which I ain't going to hold y'all. I blocked. That man cussed me out. I blocked him. I would unblock him probably like once a year to reach out and see if he wanted to meet his daughter. Because I wanted to be able to say I tried. I wanted to be able to say I made some attempts. The way I hurry up and blocked him after, quick, fast, in a hurry. I just needed to know you were continuing to ignore me. That's fine. That's fine. What I did not want and what I will never have is my daughter being in an environment where her mom is being disrespected, not properly loved, played with. Absolutely not. I want better for Cardi and this baby and the rest of the kids. She absolutely was right for leaving Offset. She was absolutely wrong for jumping into this situation so fast. I don't wish bad on her relationship at all. I'm just speaking about the facts of it all. Patterns. Why it's so important to heal before bringing children into the world. Cardi is still in this situation. There's constant things coming out about this new man day in and day out. Do I believe them? Absolutely. Patterns is facts. I noticed also online, there is a lot, again, being a Cardi fan myself, y'all. I told y'all in the beginning, love her down. I've also noticed a lot of people jumping to her defense and getting very upset as if people cannot say that this was a bad decision for Cardi. I want to say this, if you are one of those people, you're not a good friend. Because if you ultimately want better for your friend or for the people you consider that you love, a fan of, or whatever, then you got to start with holding them accountable. I'm hearing things like she's grown, she's rich, she'll be fine. That's honestly coming from people who are protecting their own delusion. It stopped becoming support and starts becoming enabling. Many women are defending Cardi because they see themselves in Cardi. I see myself in Cardi to some degree. Maybe the old me would have been okay with that. I don't think so, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? The new me back, we're going to call a thing. Still giving grace, still holding space for her to heal through this. We're going to call a thing. They want to believe her story is going to work out. Because if it doesn't, it forces them to look at their own situation. That's why healing is so important. So you can see clearly without being triggered by someone else's choices. There are so many comments about Cardi's money. Cardi has money. She's not like you, blah, 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 blah. Money doesn't protect your heart, your spirit, or your mental health. If anything, it probably is going to target your mental health. It makes your mental health more vulnerable to some degree because you have the masses speaking about your situation. Some of us can't even take it from our family. Some of us can't take hard truths from our family. Can you imagine having to take a hard truth from strangers all over the world? Money does not protect you from that. Did Offset's cheating and disrespect hurt her any less because she had money? No, she's hurting like the average woman would. She was still humiliated. She was still disrespected. She was still heartbroken. The only difference is she didn't struggle financially on top of that yet. Because Offset is also trying to come for her money. Heartbreak is heartbreak. And as I said, in fact, public heartbreak is worse. No. Money might solve financial problems, but it doesn't soften the betrayal. It doesn't heal your soul. At the end of the day, this isn't really about Cardi. It's about us. The real lesson is to not rush, not chase validation, not let a rebound define your worth. The lesson is to take time to heal, to pause, to reset, and to let yourself glow up for real. When you heal, you don't just glow. You protect your peace. You attract better. You take your power back. Don't focus on proving your ex wrong. Focus on proving yourself right. Besties, if you're on this healing journey, you need a little reminder of your growth. A little anchor to keep you in and day out when life gets loud. I create waist beads with intention. They're not just jewelry. They're a symbol of reclaiming your feminine energy and reminding yourself daily of the power you're stepping in. It's about being rooted in your healing journey and in your glow up. If this video fed your soul, please tap in, subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you're looking for crystal waist beads to help you stay grounded throughout this journey when life gets loud, when shit is thrown your way, shop the Vibe Collection. Until next time, love yourself, protect your energy, and deal with life's bullshit with grace and gratitude, girl. Love ya.
I keep trying for